Hello, my love. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And I'm here today to share with you my most used decks of June 2025. So, June is the month when we have Valentine's Day in my home country. So, February, because we have Valentine's Day here where I live, and June, because we used to have Valentine's Day there. These are 2 months that are related, strongly related to love for me. Working more intentionally, let's say, with this energy that of course we must work with love every day of our lives. But you know when you feels like you'll have that extra boost. So it is February and June for me. And this month I decided to work with love, but not only love, a specific way of love, self-love. And I decided to work with self-compassion, being kind towards myself. That was my focus in June. I used to be a person, I used to be very hard on myself. I used to curse myself. I used to be very demanding. Of course, that ended up helping me to achieve a lot in life, but I don't think it's a price that we should be willing to pay. I think we can achieve things in life without being almost like our own enemy. We don't need that. And I started changing that back in 2012. And I'm so grateful to my past Rachel for doing that, because that process and that decision changed everything in my life. Because I used to be very generous and compassionate and loving towards others, but I was not able to extend the same kind of kindness and compassion towards myself. And that is related to our understanding of what we deserve in life. We deserve to receive. And if you want to receive from others in life in a healthier way, in a more beautiful way, we must understand that we must be willing to receive from ourselves first. And that process made all difference in my life. In all my relationships, the way I relate with family, friends, especially partner, I finally allowed myself to have a partner that would love me unconditionally. I had to change things inside myself first. And the way I relate with my students, with my clients over the years, the way we set boundaries, and the way we allow ourselves to overflow and share unconditionally in the way that we are meant to. There is a correct way to share. It's not just sharing. There's a specific way to share that is going to allow us to fulfill our vessel instead of feeling resented or empty. As human beings, we have the nature of vessels, and as women, we have a double nature of vessels. So that's why it's so important to understand how this mechanism works. Then this month, I decided to work with the energy and the archetype of Venus when it comes to self-love, self-understanding, and thinking, things like that. And when we do this kind of work, the truth is that we are going to access tons of material for shadow work as well. So I did some shadow work as well this month, some beautiful shadow work, and I'm going to show you some of my tools. Of course, meditation, visualization, journaling. Here, it's my new journal. I finished the other one, started this one. And this beautiful sticker, it was the creator Sky Autumn. She was the artist of the Rebel Hearts Oracle, and she sent me this sticker with the deck that I purchased. I'm going to show you the deck because it was one of my most used decks of June as well. So, in order to work with Venus, the tarot deck that I chose was this one. the Goddess of Love Tarot. It's a deck that was created having Venus in mind, right? And looking my collection, guys, I don't have many decks that well, there's some nudity here. Don't know how YouTube works with that, but well, I like this deck. Even though she's not loving and kind, not at all. She's pretty harsh, at least in my experience. She calls you out of BS. It's more like a tough love. It's more like a tough love, let's say. But she's the deck that I used. Well, Elizabeth, she has the, I think it's Tarot of Aphrodite, Tarot of Aphrodite, I think, which is a deck that I've been thinking about adding to my collection. Let's see. But for this past month, for June, I worked with this one in my personal practice with Venus. It was a beautiful work. It was a beautiful tool for that. I'm grateful for this tool. And I used as well this Oracle deck. Let's see, the Softest Shade Oracle. More because of the color, but still I have to find an Oracle deck to work with Venus. It's not this one. It's not the way I experience Venus. This deck's a little too large, too big for me, and my hands, they're not small. It's pretty chunky. The cards, they are bigger than a Blue Angel deck. But I worked with her. It's not the deck for me as well to clarify tarot or to do spreads with this deck. It's more like a one message to open the reading or one message to close the reading. But I am not that I'm in search of, but I'm open for tarot and oracle decks to work with Venus. Let's see what's going to happen, what the world's going to bring to me. So I'm going to go a little faster with decks that I use every month, because I showed them last month already. So one of them, of course, is the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetype. I use this deck in all my readings, in all my professional readings. So it is a deck that I use basically every day, right? For clients and students to define an archetype that is active in that situation. And I love this deck to clarify tarot. I love this deck. Well, on my video sharing with you decks that I had with me in my trip to the countryside, I'm going to link the video here. I took her with me because I love this deck, guys. I just love it. I can't tell you anything but have it. Just buy it. It's wonderful. It's a staple in my collection. And as I shared with you, I like to have one deck, Major Arcana only, to connect with the archetype in the tarot that is active in my client's life at that moment. So I have this one here, is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I have only the Major Arcana here. This was the deck helping me with the archetype aspect of my sessions. Now, I told you about shadow work, and shadow work this month was with these two beautiful decks, Soul Cards 1 and Soul Cards 2. So I'm thinking about creating a video showing you how I use these decks, but I use them well, based on Kabbalah. I'm trained in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a huge part of my foundation, right? Spiritual foundation, my personal and professional life. So I use these decks based on Kabbalistic wisdom, and that's how I accessed some shadow work that was so meaningful. Oh, it went so deep, so under the surface. It was a beautiful process, and I'm thinking about sharing with you in a specific video how I do that. Now, this month, I brought this beauty to my collection. It is the Albano-Waite Tarot, right? So on winter, I was thinking about adding a Rider-Waite that would have more like soft colors, even softer than the Universal, which is my favorite, Rider-Waite Smith version. I was not able to find them. And then this summer, I was feeling like having a deck, a Rider-Waite Smith with more like saturated colors. Oh, strong colors. Ooh, summer, like, that's what I feel with this deck. Full of energy. This deck's full of energy. It's a beautiful deck. It is the Albano-Waite, made in Italy and published by US Games. This deck has a lot of personality. She just shows up and she manifests herself and talks to you. And look at this mint. I don't know, she's gorgeous. I never liked this kind of colors in my Rider-Waite Smith decks. But this year, I don't know, I was ready for her. And I'm so happy that she's here. Beautiful. So this is the Rider-Waite Smith that I use, because I always have a Rider-Waite Smith on my table, right? Usually it's the Universal. I like the Centennial, but I haven't been using the Centennial for a while now. She's the one. She's the one. Love her. Now, I'll go a little faster because I showed her already. This is the Sacred She Tarot that I like to use in my sessions as well. I use this deck a lot in my sessions because I offer mentoring sessions with tarot, and then there's all kinds of guidance going on there, but they are spiritual. They are about our own behavior, our own decisions, our own clarity, our own certainty in something bigger than us, and our ability to have confidence to take steps in life. Because for me, spirituality is not something that you do on top of a mountain or by yourself or just meditating by yourself. That's not it. Spirituality is about our day-by-day lives for me. And if your spiritual work is not showing some results, I'll use the term results in the real life, something is going on there that you have to look closer. We say in Kabbalah that we have two realities, the 1% and the 99%. So this material world, which we call Malhut, the kingdom, is 1%, and 99% is the spiritual realm. What we live here is connected to spirituality, but if you want to change something here, you must change in spirituality first. That's what I'm telling you. That every time you're doing some work in spirituality, you are going to see the effects here. Not necessarily in the way you want. It's not about that. It's not about like, oh, if things are not working my way, it means that spiritual. No, it's not about that. It's not about having what I want when I want, because that's another thing. We have some different, how can I say, sources of wanting or of desiring in our lives, and you must understand them. That's why it's so important, and I feel that this deck's beautiful for the kind of session that I offer. So I use her. It's not the only deck that I use, and I don't necessarily use her in every session, but almost. I love her for that. I'm in love with this deck. I showed her. She was together with the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes, such a long name. So she's the tarot deck that I brought to my trip. I had just got her when I went. And I never liked this thing of having different artists in the same deck. I always wanted my decks to be like the same artwork, the same artist all over the deck. Never liked this kind of deck. And my practice has been changing so much since the last year, and I have been changing so much as well, growing, expanding, that I needed. I don't know, I think it feels like I started having this feeling and this need of adding something different to my practice and my collection, and those kind of things that used to make me uncomfortable. Like, no, I don't want it. I don't like it. No, no, not for me. Come on, come on. I'm ready for you. Mama is ready. Come here. And then this deck was created by 26 different artists. Each one created 3 cards. I love the card stock in this deck. I love this deck. I found out this deck on Amazon. I think they recommended it to me. Never heard about this deck before. Oh, I think I didn't say. This is the deck. I said the name wrong in the other video. It is the Artist's Inner Vision Tarot by NoMonet. Okay? Beautiful. Now, I've been working as well with this deck, Inner Child Oracle. Well, when I bought this deck, I don't remember now if I bought this deck or if it was gifted to me. I think I bought this deck. I was not expecting anything from her. I bought this deck. But she's more than I was expecting. She's not such a surface girl as I thought she would be. She can go deep. She can be very helpful when it comes to inner child work. She's very good for that. And even to work with her on my shadow work, it was a beautiful deck for that. This is the Inner Child Oracle. Beautiful deck. I'm very happy I have her. And now, last but not least, beautiful deck. This deck was on Sky Autumn. Sky Autumn, she's a Canadian artist, and she's the artist behind the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Elena Fairchild. A big, big hit. And then I saw this deck. Oops, sorry guys. I saw this deck on her Etsy store, and it was there. And then after a while, I decided to go ahead and buy this deck. I'm so glad I did. Oh, this deck's so gorgeous. Like, it is a chunky big deck as well. She's large, but they are paintings. So do you understand? They are paintings. They are her art, and then it makes sense to be big because I want to see all the details of her brush. Then you're going to have the card here and a message in the back. It is so, look at this. Come on, guys. It's a pretty, like, there's a lot of cards here. I love big decks like this one. I think I already wrote the name of the deck here. Glossy. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. That's another deck, I think. I never say, right, buy it, do it. No, but if you feel like you want it, you can do it because it's so beautiful. And it is a deck that you can work in 3 ways. Or only using the images, or only using the messages, or both. Look at this. Look at this. She's beautiful. And I thought about ending this video drawing a card from this deck for us as a community, and hard to shuffle for me. And as always, if this message resonates with you, please feel free to make it yours. Let's ask for a message for us today here, for everybody that is watching this video, sharing this moment here with me. Here we go. So, what can we say about it? She's gorgeous. The message says, rite of passage, rite of passage. That's not a little bit French, isn't it? Passage, rite of passage. Embrace the mystery. Be patient in transitions. Accept fear and cultivate change. You are made of earth and spirit. Transformation is underway. Be aware of limiting beliefs. Write your own story. It's a little bit what we talked about when it comes to the 1% and the 99%, you are made of earth and spirit, rite of passage. I don't know if you feel like it resonates for you, because it resonates for me. Actually, already shared with you 2000. You know the thing of having a word for your ear, it never worked for me when I would decide a word, never. But this year a word presented itself to me, you know, in other people's readings, specific one person. I had one person doing a reading, and for myself, in my oracle readings, in my tarot readings for myself, it was threshold. And then I said, okay, I got it. This is going to be my word in 2025. 2025 is my threshold. This beautiful message, the moon, the owl, the wisdom is in understanding the cycles as well, isn't it, guys? The moon always reminds us of our cycles, that our lives, they are full of cycles. And being wise, or is part of being wise, understanding when maybe a cycle is over. And I'm going through that process now of understanding a cycle that was over. In order to something new begin or arrive in our lives, we must be willing to let something that is over simply go. So if it resonates with you, as I told you, make it yours. Thank you so much if you stayed with me for 22 minutes. Thank you so much for your patience, and more than that, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for being here. See you in the next video. Lots of love.